Hi guys, I'm Mark Coles. Welcome to the Physique Coach Education Series with Scitec Nutrition. Guys, welcome back to the next video in the series. Now, something you all know that I'm known for, and that's helping people build physiques, a better body shape. And a topic that I know is going to make your ears prick up, and that is lagging body parts, something which I really have had to work very hard at over the last 7 or 8 years. I played rugby for 22 years. I've got ligament injuries in my ankles, I've got reconstructive surgery in my shoulders, so I'm the perfect candidate to really struggle to build a physique. Now, I might not be winning national titles, but I can guarantee you this: since the day I started bodybuilding, I have improved and balanced out my body better than I ever thought was possible. And why is that? Well, when it comes to developing lagging body parts, the one thing you can't do is just apply the same methodology as every single other person. If you have a lagging body part, just training chest, let's use chest for example. If chest is your lagging body part, doing the bench press, doing incline dumbbell presses, doing cable flies, they may be staple exercises that build everybody's chest. But let's take back one step before the actual exercise itself. And we've got to look at something that's called execution. Now, execution is how you actually perform an exercise. And that's heavily down to where you can apply tension on your muscles specifically throughout the entire range of movement. So let me just show you. This is your chest press. Now, if I'm very weak in this position, this extremity part, okay, what we call the distal. So we have the distal, furthest away part of the pec. If at this part here, I go fully back and I'm very weak here, I'm not going to be able to use that part of my pec because it's a lot weaker than my deltoid and potentially my triceps. So from this position here, as I press, because I'm weaker at this point here, I'm probably going to protract my shoulder. If I protract my shoulder forward, I'm going to use my anterior deltoid and finish the movement off mainly with my anterior deltoid, meaning that this portion of my pec is probably going to be very minimally trained throughout the process. So if I press and this one comes forward and this one stays back, I get a very uneven pressing. Well, uneven pressing is going to mean to an unbalanced muscle tissue. So if you get very lean and you look at your muscle tissue and you go, wow, that side's not as developed as that one, I maybe need to train my chest harder. No, you need to regress. You need to not just regress with weight, but you need to regress with execution. And the first thing you should do with any given muscle is understand your active range of movement. And the active range of movement is the movement by which you can move through and maintain tension on a muscle. If you're going to do a biceps curl, if you get to the bottom and you can't apply tension because you're weak here, maybe you would start with that range of movement with the bicep curl, and then slowly as you gain strength, work further and further down. It's the same with so many other muscle groups like the hamstrings, even the triceps. Lagging body parts do not develop unless you're very genetically gifted by just training them. You need to learn a little bit more about execution, how to perform the exercise, being very stable. And I always teach every single person lagging body parts from a stable base. Everybody starts with dumbbells, everybody starts with single leg split squats, etc. for lower body. That's unstable. To learn how to train a lagging body part, you need to do it stable. You need to be fixed on a bench, you need to be locked into a bench, you need to be pushing against something. The more stable you can be, the more you can lock into the individual muscle group. And remember, smaller muscle groups like the biceps really aren't going to be able to shift 35, 40 kg dumbbells without bringing everything else in. So if you're trying to lift more and more weight week after week and body parts aren't responding, a lot of other muscle groups are doing the job and the one that's lagging is not doing the work. So lagging body parts is a topic that I could talk about for weeks on end, and I do. But to be honest with you guys, you need to respect how weak a muscle is, train it through its range of movement, lock down and maintain tension before you progress to any more advanced forms of training with that muscle group and advance too much more with the load. That's some tips on lagging body parts. Guys, another video in the series. I hope you're enjoying them. Please remember to keep asking questions across our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We've put them all together and they're forming the content for the next videos in the series. So keep interacting with us and keep training hard.